choosing to work for individuals, not organizations. I was able to identify certain people that were doing the things that I saw my adult self doing, where I wanted to be. And I walked up to them and said, I'd like to intern with you.
This is not the next social media thing. This is serious business. This is a platform where we discuss conversations that concern you, your business, your teams, partners, friends, family, colleagues, and the society at large. This city is odd and it keeps us up at night. Welcome to the Odd City podcast. My name is Jahmaicca, your host, and I'm sure that you're going to like it here. Today, we're going to be discussing life after NYSC and how to navigate it. So I will be sharing with you tips on how to do this. Of course, I will not be doing this alone. Amongst many hats he wears, the head of L&D at Moniepoint is here today, Gabriel Balogun. Listen, he is dope, I'm telling you.
Try to be. Thank you very much.
Honest. So let's get into it, right?
Okay.
Can you tell me your first impression about me when you first met?
Well, that's a way to put somebody on the spot. But I think brilliant is one word.
Brilliant?
Yeah, I think brilliant is one. I also thought you were very eloquent.
Oh,
yeah, so those two things.
I mean, you just told me that's what you said, brilliant.
Yeah, because
we didn't even have any conversation.
We did have a conversation,
yeah.
And then that's when I figured out, okay, this person is eloquent, okay. And then also brilliant.
So that means you were just seeing me when we had that conversation?
Yes.
Okay. Because I saw you when you asked the question. You asked the question, right?
I think so, I can't remember.
You actually made a statement, and I saw you. I was like, okay, first of all, he's good looking.
Try to be.
And then after the event, we had the conversation, and we were like, wow, it's just like, really? Wow, I didn't know this guy had so much stuff going on. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, so it's really nice to meet you.
Nice to be here.
How are you feeling though?
Well, I feel good.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I'm recovering. No, not really. I'm recovering, so I think it's better to say I feel good.
Okay. Today we're talking about navigating life after NYSC. When you look at the conversations going on social media, people barely talk about things like that. A lot of young professionals, when they leave school, and it's just a different life they meet, and we don't really know how best to navigate it. So we need to start talking about that. Of course, I know with you, you're full of experience yourself.
Oh God.
Let's start by hearing your NYSC experience and what it was like for you.
It was crazy. I think that's the best way to describe it. It was crazy. I served in the eastern part of Nigeria, and it was not fun. It wasn't. I was depressed, and I think I should say that on camera, because imagine leaving everyone you know, everybody you know, and then you go to a place where you know nobody, and then you are literally like a second citizen there.
Absolutely.
It's scary. You don't know who to talk to. You don't know what to do. So it wasn't the best of experience for me, but it was a truckload of learning. It was like a training school, and it's also good because it made me a better person.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's nice. I mean, that's for me. Listen, I'm just gonna come out right. I felt devastated to be posted into Castina. Okay, yeah. Listen, I was this close to just forgetting anything about NYSC, because I'm like, this is not actually life, right? What's this certificate gonna do for me? But then going there was good. I'm not gonna lie. Half of my stay there was like body present, absent-minded. All I wanted to do was just leave that place, right? So I
also must had that camp was really good.
Yeah.
Camp was great. Best experience I've had in a while.
Right.
Like it would be my top 5 experiences I've had as an adult. Wow. But life after camp is what it was terrible. It was depressing.
Yeah, let's go into that actually. Now, there are uncertainties really about this life after NYSC, life after camp. How do you can navigate uncertainties, or moving away from uncertainties and having the courage to embrace uncertainties after NYSC?
I think number one, you want to be very sure about and it's very cliche to say discover yourself, but I think you need to be very certain about the kind of person you want to be,
right?
And that comes from a lot of self-awareness. And what are the things that I can manage? What are the things that I can live with? What are my negotiables with life? What are my non-negotiables? So I think the very first thing that I would advise that worked for me was I was able to define this is who I am. Another time I enjoyed in that period was, I think CDS, that's what they call it.
Yeah.
It's a while back, I can't remember. And because I met other coppers, we had to take engage in activities. But I was able to stand out because I truly knew who I was, in the sense that I knew what I wanted in life, and I looked, talked, acted that way.
Yeah.
And I think that's the easiest way, the singular truth to anybody navigating. You're uncertain because you really don't know what you want in life.
Yeah.
If you know what you want in life, then you've defeated uncertainty by like 70%.
That's true.
Yeah, then the next thing is to now figure out, okay, this is what I want in life. This is where I'm currently at.
Yeah.
What's the gap I need to plug?
Right.
And then you begin to take steps to plug that gap. Do I need to know about this more? Do I need to talk to this person? Do I need to leave this place and come to, right? But once you know what you want and know where you are, you can easily navigate uncertainty.
Yeah, absolutely agree. You know, my own experience when I got out of camp, I was optimistic to have Lagos. I didn't have that Katsina. Okay, I cried my tears and moved on. And then I'm like, you know what, we're going to redeploy to Lagos. And then I had this whole high hopes, only for me to leave camp and I'm seeing Abuja. Now, I know you would say Abuja is great, but I had plans, dude. I really had a company waiting for me to come join them and all this stuff. Because I was like looking at them even before school, you know, I graduated and all that, only for me to have that experience. And I was so sad. So for me, I was quite uncertain on, okay, so what next? I don't know, Abuja. I really don't even know the culture here. What am I going to do? Where am I going to serve? So it was really great, but I had to start. For me, I think I spoke to my sister and she really helped, because she's like, okay, so let's look at what you can do here. Whatever you think you can get there, let's start by where you are and see how you can maximize the opportunities here. And I think that just helped me. So that's, for me, typical embracing uncertainty. It really is maximizing the place you are and your current phase. Because what more can you do? If not, you're going to be soaked into the negativity of it and throw a pity party for yourself. It really wouldn't add much to your career growth. Speaking about career growth, right? That's almost the major context when you look at life after NYSC, because what next you want to, it's like welcome to adulthood. There's this silent celebration that you're now fully grown, so start bringing in the money, send the money to the family. So how would you advise someone should build a career after NYSC?
So let me share my own career story. I've been able to move from intern to director in 10 years. Is it 10 years? 2016 to 2024, that's less than 10 years. Yes, and the truth is, what has worked for me is I spent the first 5 years after NYSC choosing to work for individuals, not organizations. And let me explain. So there are certain habits that make successful people successful. And what I did after NYSC was to unpick, again, there's an element of luck. I'm not going to deny that. It's very stupid for me not to.
Element of luck?
Yes, there is luck. You can't downplay that. But I was able to identify certain people that were doing the things that I saw my adult self doing, where I wanted to be. And I walked up to them and said, I'd like to intern with you. So I've always...
Sometimes we're not expecting money or nothing like that.
I was. But what I did, or what I also had done in school, was I'd learned how to make clothes. So there was less pressure on getting a job that could pay me 500k, and more on getting a job where I could learn, while I still make clothes and have enough to eat. And because I had mapped out the career path, I was like, the first thing is, if I'm going to be this person, the goal is to be chief learning officer. I'm still currently just a director of learning, so that's still like maybe a year or 2 to 3 years more to really achieve that goal, right? But it was very clear what I wanted. This person was training corporates, and I wanted to do that. So I interned with him for 6 months. He paid me, how much was he paying me? He paid me 40k. I was living in Ijegun, Jakonde Estate, Solo, and my office was at Aja on a 40k salary. It takes passion and desire to stay on that job for 6 months, because the money was nothing. The money was transport fare. You couldn't even pay tithes or save or any of these things, right? In a month, 40k in a month, crazy. And then after that, I saw another opportunity and I went there, and it was because it's small, the public speaking space or the corporate training space is a small industry. And so I was able to identify another person and apply for that person's job, and that person knows my previous boss, just calls that person my previous boss, and I was like, this guy's coming, what do you think? Oh, he's a great guy. If you don't hire him, don't be my friend. And then I got the next gig and got the next gig and got the next gig. And for my 5-year plan was to be head of learning in the organization that I was working. And by my 50, I was working at UTV as academy director. So that was fulfillment of goal one. And then goal two was, okay, now that we've served people, let's move to proper organizations. And then after UTV, I worked for a British firm, Analytics Intelligence, and then I'm currently at Moniepoint. And it's just been like that. And the secret is simple. Choose your bosses. That, because when you work with an individual in a one-man business, that person drains you.
Right.
The person impacts, pours themselves on you. You carry bag, you carry shoes, you serve. You go and buy bread and beans for the person. It may seem menial and seem very stupid, but you are directly working with someone who is so good and so great. And so that person, you sit in the same car with that person. The person gives you tips that people will pay coaching fee for.
Right.
And when you do that with three people have impacted on you. When you're starting in your when you're working in an organization, you're working 10 times better than your peers because you're coming with experience that they don't have, right? And then I can guarantee you that if you work in any large organization, your line manager might not have the time to impact you because that person is chasing something else. And so you take experience from working with people,
even starting your own business,
or to start your own business or work somewhere, right? Again, this is what has worked for me. For you, it might be you're living in NYSC, you go to KPMG streets. Also very good for your career. But the key goal there is ensure that wherever you find yourself, you learn deeply, not widely.
Right.
Before you think of learning broadly, go in depth. I'm an administrative assistant. What do global administrative assistants do? What do they know? What should they learn? I'm a technical writer. What do global technical writers do? Not what do Nigerian technical writers do. Yeah, because when you set a global standard and you learn depth, you have what is called technical depth. So when you meet an hiring manager and you're having a conversation, they can tell that this person knows this. This person has practiced this. This person is not just reading this.
Not just surfacely.
Yeah, so that's, I've said a lot, but when you're listening, please pick your points. Choose your bosses and learn deeply. Take so much time in building your technical depth.
Wow, that's so rich, all that you said. I think something stood out for me. You talked about having a plan. That definitely speaks to the kind of person you were before.
Yeah, definitely.
You were done with service and moving on, because that means you would have, been used to the life of planning, used to the life of actually trying to understand what next, just being intentional with your life and all that, because most people don't have the opportunity. In school, we spend so much time trying to get grades and just have so much fun and make friends and all that. I mean, some other people have that opportunity to have guidance. I think that really leads me to the topic of mentorship. How important is it? Because I think for me, I have an ideology about mentorship, really. I don't really believe in saying, oh, this person is my mentor. Now, here's the thing. I feel like I'm not going to put in on another person that probably doesn't have my life direction. We're not on the same path, but I mean, I can learn something from you, but we're not on the same path. I can't just come and say I want to mirror you. But I have people I admire and I look up to in terms of their experiences, what they've done, where they are, to know how it can impact me. So then I say, okay, I have people I admire, I have people I want to learn under, but I think it's important to have a figure like that on mentorship. So how would you say someone can really have that? I mean, for some people, their mentors were their parents, right?
Yeah.
So you had your parents telling you, okay, so we've already put out this budget for you. After school, that my friend somewhere, I think you should take this course. You know what? See how I do it. All this kind of stuff. But then for other people, they don't have that.
No.
So, how would you say?
So in my life, and I think you're very right, I'm just cut different. I'm cut from a different cloth.
Right.
I've had mentors. So my life is, I have three people I look up to.
Oh, yeah?
I have instructors, have mentors, and I have coaches. Instructors are people who are like what we call Egmadubu. So they are the guys that are not necessarily mentoring your teaching. They're just those guys that, so you're in church, for instance. Let me give a typical example. You're in church and there's somebody that is always telling you, oh, I think you should wear black belts with black shoes. This is not a mentor.
Right.
This is just instructing.
Yeah.
So those are like the name instructors.
Right.
They just instruct you from time to time.
From what they observe
Oh, I think this makeup doesn't go with your skin tone.
Right.
Use this.
And what you let them in on.
Yes. Mentors, on the other hand, are people that go beyond instructing. I go to them. So instructors usually just tell you, they don't need your permission. You don't go to them.
Right.
Mentors, on the other hand, are people that you go to them and say, You're an example.
Right.
You're a picture of my possibilities.
That's deep.
So I want to commit myself to you so that you can instruct me, lead me, guide me. That's mentorship. The person is a living example of what you want to become. So you can literally walk behind them because they are walking your path. Coaches.
So that basically you're saying you actually believe in the ideology of a mentor being someone that you can follow the
Yes.
path,
Yes.
and all this
Yes.
stuff.
Because
So at what point do you distinguish yourself? Because some people, for me, I feel like the society have blurred out the line of what
of course,
the essence of that is.
society has brought out the line of
So I
every
feel
single
like
thing.
instead of being inspired, it's not like, listen, copycat, boom, boom, boom. Like there's nothing unique, there's nothing creative about yourself. In fact, you almost lose your identity, your unique identity.
So I don't think mentorship is and mentorship is a dicey topic though.
Yeah.
I don't think it is garbage in, garbage out.
Okay.
I think mentorship is somebody's a picture of your possibilities,
Right.
but the person is entirely different from you. They're just living the life that you want to live. So you follow them as much as you can, but you do not have to become them. So your mentor could be a loud person, but you're a soft person. So the thing with mentorship is that you learn values and disciplines,
right,
not necessarily actions. I think I need to say that again. You learn values and disciplines from your mentor, not actions. Because if you focus on actions, you will miss out on the discipline and the values that are facilitating those actions.
Yeah.
Right. So when you choose a mentor, choose them for principles, values, and disciplines that has helped them achieve what they have achieved, so that you can also apply that in your life and you can achieve that.
Absolutely. Now, still on life, on navigating life after NYSC, we'd like to know from your opinion, right, the importance of self-development. Taking courses. How does that really contribute to building a good career or a successful career after your NYSC?
Interesting question. The day the world stops learning, the world stops evolving.
Right.
And what that means is you cannot do so much in a world that is always learning if you yourself are not learning. So it is extremely important. Like if you have a scale of 1 to 10, it's 20. That's how important it is for you to self-develop. But something I said earlier that I think everybody should take home from this is, know what you want in life, know where you are, and look and figure out the things you need to become good at that can help you get to where you want. And that gap,
so just, the gap, exactly.
That bridge is self-development that bridges the gap between where you are and where you want to be. Right, so it's so important. You need to take courses. Everything anybody has ever said about self-development, you need to go for conferences, take courses, get a mentor. They are so important. Like you should do it. A cliche is a cliche.
Like immediately you're done with
no,
service, or even
before. So if you're listening to this and you've never gone to serve, start. If you're already in service, start. Outside of service, maybe you're done serving, start. The goal is you need to keep learning every single day of your life. And sometimes when we say learning, and I can tell you this, I'm an L&D leader. L&D is learning and development leader. And one of the things we say learning is changed behavior.
Right.
Learning is not necessarily sitting in front of a teacher and that teacher is teaching you. That's training. So training is anything you do that facilitates learning.
Right.
But learning is changed behavior. So until you change a behavior from where it is to something else, you have not learned. You can read all the books in the world, but if you've not practiced how to speak in public, you read all the public speaking books in the world, you've not learned how to speak in public until you practice, and then you practice till you now change, right? So learning is action. Learning is activity. I think that's a better way to put it. You must always take action after you read or listen to anything. Like the things I've said now, and Shea said, take action. And when you take action, you would have learned.
Absolutely great. I think I have my own experience. I think it was very helpful for me to. I didn't know so much about. I knew about self-development, but not from the angle of you got to take courses.
Oh, you do.
Or all of that, or even be webinar or attend a conference, whatever. All of that. No, I just knew that personally I had to be. I was naturally interested in knowing stuff, hearing people that had their experience, and trying to understand, ask questions. But one friend told me about project management, right? She's like, you should get this course in project management. It helps you get jobs. I'm like, oh, jobs? I don't know about jobs, but I mean, because I wasn't, my mindset was not necessarily like, oh my God, the jobs are scarce, so I can't, let me try to get this and this so I can get jobs. And no, my mindset was, I know that I have a capacity to solve problems, and I'm looking at building myself. I'm interested in knowledge if you can add to me. So project management is good. I want to know more about it. So I took some courses, and it actually helped me get some good jobs after that period of serving and trying to build my career and all that. It really, really helped me a lot.
Yeah. I think in our generation, project management was that one skill to get, because I remember when I was in school too, it was the craze.
And human resources.
Project management. I mean, in my part 5,
it still is.
In my part 5, I did 4 different certifications that I've used up until now.
Right.
I did a strategic human resource management certification. I did a project management certification.
Right.
I did a ATD, Association of Talent Development certification, and I did one more. And I realized that I had an edge when I applied for jobs and when I showed up at interview, because they were like, "Oh, you have CAPM? Oh, that's nice. You have PMP?
But guess what?
That's nice."
But guess what? I also now feel like that was a very shallow perspective of the people looking at your CV and seeing, "Oh, you have this. That's great."
It was it for those days now.
Yes, because
now it has changed.
It was just the title of the certificate that made difference.
Yeah.
What substance did you have?
Nothing.
I'm not gonna lie, I had no idea if it's coming to list some terms of project management. I was saying, like, I just understood how to organize and handle a project, but out of what did you take out of that certificate training, I wasn't sure, but guess what? People just bought into that entire package, title and thing. But at the end of the day,
was the way of the world then.
Ways. Yeah, because it still matters now. Now it's different now, because
now you need proof.
Yes.
You need to show workings.
Experience, what you've done. They'll probably even put you through testings to say, okay, so let's see you handle this.
True.
So
very correct.
Awesome. I think we're almost done. I don't know if you've been having fun, but
I have.
It's been so
always
nice.
Want to answer questions.
You do?
Yeah.
And you love to ask questions too.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a very important conversation that we'd like to talk about now, because it's crucial. When you say, "Oh, follow your passion," I heard someone say, "Follow your passion, but make sure your passion pays the bills." So I don't know if that's the mindset you also have.
I think that it's important to have a budget, and the reason why it's important to have a budget is when you budget your life, you spend your money wisely, which is what you're saying. You want to get a wig, your salary is 200k. If you have a proper budget, you can say the wig is 100k, I can buy it by the 5th month.
Exactly.
So 20. But imagine you take 50% of your monthly salary to buy a wig. Eventually in that month, you will not eat well. You'll have to beg for money for transport. You'd have to ask for 102k, right? So it makes no sense. So build a budget and have a budget for everything. Budget for food, budget for transportation, budget for clothing. I see no reason why you are working and you cannot have a clothing budget. Even if it's 5k every month or 3k every month. This month, January, you buy shirts. February, you buy trouser. March, you buy shoe. And there are cool places in Lagos Island and Yaba that if you go to with your 3k, I don't know about now that everything has gone up. but a budget helps. My point is, have a budget for everything. Just sort of makes you spend your money wisely.
I used to have that mindset about when you hear budget, really, it's like, what is that? It seems so ambiguous.
So simple.
If you want to break it down, when you say budget, what's another word for it? Because, so someone says, "Oh, I want to buy that shoe. What's your budget?" I'm like, "Huh? What's my budget to buy that shoe? How much is the shoe?"
Okay, so let me try and break it down. What is a budget? A budget is a list, and I have a template I use, but a budget is a list that shows how you want to spend your money.
Great.
There is the 50, 30, 20 budget tools, where 50% of your money goes to your necessities.
Right.
What are necessities? The things that if you don't have them,
basically your priorities.
If you don't have them, you can't survive that month. So transportation, feeding, electricity bill, house rent. those are necessities.
Exactly.
So a certain portion of 50% of your money must satisfy all those necessities. Then the next ones are wants. Wants are the nice to have. So things like shopping, things like going on a date, things like watching a movie. Those are needs. And then thank you. So 30% of your entire money goes to that, right? So 50% necessities, 30% wants, and then 20% goes to savings. So it's wiser to save 20% of every money you earn, not necessarily 10%.
Yeah.
Because if you earn 100K and you save 20K every month, by your fifth month, you'd have made your 1 month salary in savings, while still having 50% on needs and 30% on. You get my point? So that's literally what budgeting rather is. Just putting your money in those three categories. 50% are going to do or die. If we don't have this, we can't do any work. 30% nice to have, 20% savings. So in the real sense, 70% of your money is going into important things, savings and that. And then the 30% is for flangery. If there's a word like that.
Yeah, I was going to just add something. Someone said something to me that I just remembered now. I was trying to tell him that, I'm trying to save some money for something. And it's like, why are you trying to save? Go for what you want and just put more effort on getting the money that you need than saving the little that you have. And I want to know your opinion on that ideology, because it was just painting that picture like, okay, so you want to go live in Ikorodu because you have the money, you want to save more. Why don't you ride more to put the effort on making money on your job, try to make more sales so you can afford a better place that's go stay there because you're trying to save money? What's your ideology?
I think there's wisdom in what that person is saying.
Okay.
But this is what I think. You need to make money first.
Exactly.
Then manage money, then multiply money. So you make, manage, and multiply. If you cannot manage money, you cannot multiply. You make 10 times more, you will burn it because you've never learned the principle of managing, right? So that's it.
That's I think that part was missing.
Yeah.
All right, that makes sense. Okay, so oh my God, Gabriel Balogun, your name is quite unique. Listen, it's like I see that on a billboard. Gabriel Balogun speaking live in Washington DC.
Yes.
Yes, right?
Yes.
I really appreciate this opportunity, this chance to have you speak, and a lot of people get to learn and take out the nuggets you've shared today.
I'm glad.
We'll see you next time, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Great.
Thank you.
Moniepoint is lucky to have you.
Thank you very much.
So basically, right, it's been a wonderful time. I can attest to that. Life after NYSC can be quite challenging. We've all experienced that, and some of us also haven't. But it's important to know that there's some things that can help you, and you can actually succeed and make better decisions. You've got to cultivate the mindset, a positive mindset. Stay ahead. Invest a lot to self-development. A lot of things that have been said today are really nuggets that you want to explore. It's been great. I'm your host, Jahmaicca, and until next time, I hope you're doing amazing. See you on the next episode.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms, engage on our YouTube and Instagram pages, and also make your comments because we would love to indulge your opinions.